We're live. Hello. Hey, everyone. My name's Alex. I'm a filmmaker from Brisbane, Australia, and I run Late Night 99. Welcome. So I'm thinking that we'll probably go live a little bit more regularly than we have been, and want to make it a bit of a regular thing, develop a bit of a routine, and see how it goes. But for those of you who are rewatching this, as no one is currently live in the chat, welcome. And as people join, I'll respond to any messages and live chats, and we can chat about filmmaking online, YouTube filmmaking, and when we do future lives, they'll be themed, I suppose, and I can talk about particular things, particular moments that are happening for filmmaking or films or topics. But for now, I think I wanted to talk about YouTube filmmaking as a whole, what's happening in that space, where it's going from here, and open a bit of a discussion around how you can contribute to furthering or growing the YouTube filmmaking movement. It's been called a lot of things. Cody Clarke calls it truly independent filmmaking. Dan Lotz and the 922 Films or $5 Film School call it folk filmmaking, as do many others. And I don't know what I call it. I've just been calling it folk filmmaking because I think I love that that name that's been coined for the movement. I think it sums it up a lot. Sums it up really well. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of really great stuff that's coming out online, a lot of really great films. And I think my analysis of the space in general is that it's growing. It's taking off. And I think that's something worth talking about. And there's some changes that are coming to the YouTube app over the coming months, like the hype feature and communities tab, and which already exists, but some changes to it. I think the comment, if I'm understanding correctly, the comment section is going to become a bit of a community hub on people's films or videos, I should say. But I think that it's exciting to see some of these features come through, and I think they could really help filmmakers. So I suppose, in the absence of not that I expected like 20 people to jump in here straight away, but in the absence of anyone really watching at the moment, I thought I'd just kind of start talking about what's happening in the YouTube space and some of the things that I've done and some of the things I've seen other people do that contribute to the growth of the platform for filmmakers. So I think the first thing that I've really noticed this year, or that's really probably the most successful foray into YouTube filmmaking, it's been Joel Haver and the things that he's done to contribute to the platform for filmmakers. So Joel's currently releasing feature films on YouTube. He has been for a number of years now, and he's one of the first YouTube filmmakers that I saw that really inspired me to do more longer form content on the platform. And he's released, I think I'll look it up so I don't say the wrong thing, but he's been releasing a feature film every month. Well, he's been aiming to release a feature film every month on YouTube. So he's, I think, so far done 5 or 6, but let me just correct the record on that. So 4. He's released 4. No, 5. He's not updated his cover thing. So the films this year that he's released are he released The Hero's Journey. aka My Life, aka The Caleb Johnson Story. It's released Anyone Else But Me, The Text, Hello Beautiful Creatures, and It Just Takes Time. And I think if I was to rank them in order of, because we always have to rank things in order, of my favorite to my least favorite, I think Anyone Else But Me definitely takes the cake for me as my favorite of the bunch. I went in knowing nothing about the film and was so thoroughly entertained by the performances, by the writing, and so Anyone Else But Me definitely a favorite of mine. And let me pull up who's in it. So Blake Rosier was the lead performer in this, and I think this is the only one that Joel didn't. He wasn't in the text either, but this one Joel wasn't in, and I think Joel being behind the camera in this film really lent itself to a more maybe traditionally engaging film. So that definitely takes the cake for me. The second one is it's a tie for me between It Just Takes Time, which is an absolutely devastating film. My review on Letterboxd said it was a depressing Napoleon Dynamite, which I think is a perfect summarization of what that film was like, and in the way it explores grief and loss and friendships during trying times. It was a very, very, very strong addition to his filmography. And following that, I think Hello, My Beautiful Creatures would be my next favorite, followed by The Text and The Hero's Journey, aka My Life, aka The Caleb Johnson Story. So, look, I think there seems to be, and this is sort of, this is my conundrum when it comes to YouTube filmmaking, right? And using this platform to release films. There's every chance that you could release a film on the platform and it'll find an audience or it'll go viral, right? There's every chance that you can do that. And it happens. You see films like Milk and Cereal go absolutely viral. Though that filmmaking group or that filmmaking production team have released other films that have done quite well before, so they've got a built-up audience. But you see that films get released on YouTube. You've all seen it, and they get views, and the algorithm picks it up, and people watch and enjoy them. But there's clearly an appetite as well for people to watch longer form or short form film entertainment on YouTube. There always has been. And looking at Joel Haver and what he's doing as he's releasing these films, you can see that there's clearly an appetite. Each of his films have at least 100,000. Yeah, 180,000 is the least viewed one, which is It Just Takes Time. And the most viewed one is Anyone Else But Me with 200,000 views. So people are tuning in and watching these films. Milk and Cereal, I think, is at nearly 500,000 views at the moment. I'll just fact check that. But if you haven't seen any of these films that I'm talking about, please go and watch them. Yeah, 804,000 views Milk and Cereal has. It's a found footage horror film on the YouTube platform that really is quite a fantastic film. You should watch The Don't Tell Show. Did a great review. Kind of review of the film, and used it as an opportunity to talk about other films that are on the platform as well, which I think was a great move. That guy Nicholas is so bloody quick at picking up trends and what's happening. That man does not stop or switch off. Talking around in circles a bit, but what I'm trying to say is there's clearly an appetite. People will tune in for it, and people are there for it. However, there seems to be a correlation between channels or filmmakers that already have an audience, that are already doing really well on the platform, that then release these longer form films and then get a lot of views on them. I'm wondering, particularly in Joel Haver's case, how many of these people are actually tuning in because they love the low budget films, or if they're tuning in because they love Joel Haver. And I think that in a lot of cases, people are tuning in because of the person that's releasing the films, less so because they've discovered the film and they have an appetite to consume the longer form content. I think there's a smaller niche group of people that use the YouTube platform to try and find these independent films and really enjoy independent filmmaking. But where it really is taking off is on channels or on with production groups that are already have an audience, that have already built an audience. And if you look at them all, using the case studies of Joel Haver and That's a Bad Idea, who did Milk and Cereal, you'll find that they already have, as I said, they've already got a subscriber base, but the films that they're releasing are more traditional YouTube stuff, like quirky sketches or kind of clickbaity things or short films. Like these people are not launching into the filmmaking space on YouTube and releasing and just dropping feature films or dropping short films. They're building up an audience and they have a consistent style that carries over into their long form content because it's the same creators, but they're not. It's not feature films. I don't think are a gateway into finding success on YouTube. But those are my thoughts anyway. So I guess where that takes me is I can only really apply that to what I'm doing and what Late Night 99 is trying to do on YouTube. And I am making films, I'm releasing films, but by doing things like this, by going live, by putting a face to the channel, trying to connect with people, what is really happening is I'm trying to build a base. I'm trying to connect with people. I'm trying to develop a community around my art form, around my releases. Oh, hey, Claren. And by doing that, I think that lays a great foundation for releasing then your bigger projects. I don't think it's necessarily going to be very successful or you're going to have a very good time unless you're very lucky. If you just start dropping films left, right, and center, I think it's going to be way more. I think you're going to set yourself up for more success if you do that, but then also cake it in all this supporting content and all this supporting engagement and trying to connect with people. And I think that idea of community is what's going to launch YouTube filmmaking to the next level. And I think we already kind of experience that when we look at the community that develops around the films that people are creating. So I think Dan Lotz is a great example. When Dan was creating films on the YouTube platform, he built around those films an audience and a community, and was very, very successful. You look at there's a folk filmmaking Discord that's gone a bit quiet now, but for about 2 years it was bustling with activity. You look at the Twitter space, which I feel like at the moment is kind of being dominated by maybe 5 or 6 different filmmakers who their sort of peripheral or immediate audiences are kind of there as well. And Twitter's a great place for that too. And my thoughts are that if there's anything that we can do to continue to build that community, to continue to grow that wider filmmaking community around what we're releasing and what we're doing, that'll benefit all of us and give us the best opportunity for growth and success on the YouTube platform. So I think there's a couple of really tangible ways that we can do this, and I would like to discuss several things, but I'll stop and answer any questions or comments through that come through. So Mr. Dingalopoulos, which is a great name, at almost 3K subscribers, how do you feel about that? Did you expect to get this big, or do you have plans for when you get bigger? I have a really boring answer for this. I did expect to get this big, and I didn't expect for it to take this long, and I'm not that big. So I think that when I started releasing films on YouTube, it was always going to be a long-term thing for me. And the reason behind the start of my YouTube filmmaking journey was that I wanted to develop my skills as an actor. I'm a terrible actor, but I wanted to develop my skills as an actor because I know that I'm the only resource that I'll continually have access to if I want to do filmmaking independently. I wanted to develop my skills as a director. I wanted to develop my cinematography skills. I wanted to get better at sound design. I wanted to get better at editing. I wanted to develop all these skills. And the reason being, when I have an opportunity to make something really big, and big is a relative term, but when I have the opportunity to make a film that that I really, really believe in and that I really want to get made, I'll have all of the skills that I require to make that film, so any money that I invest in it, any money or any resource that I invest in making that hypothetical film, which I feel like I've made a few of already, but when I'm making my big projects, over time, the more I learn, there's going to be less and less that I have to outsource. I'm not going to have to pay a cinematographer to come in and shoot my film. I'm not going to have to pay an editor to go and make my film. I can do all that myself, and it takes more time. But when all I have is time, that's not so much of a problem. That's yeah. So that's I've sort that was my idea when I started. I've sort of evolved my thought process over time. I think that my most recent feature that I shot, I filmed with a partner. I had a cinematographer for that film, Ananthu Raj, and he knocked it out of the ballpark. He did an amazing job, and that sort of made me realize that that's, in some occasions, it's important to delegate some of these roles. I can't hold on to everything, otherwise it all falls apart. But for smaller scale projects, you definitely can. You're right, that was a boring answer. Jokes, haha, ha ha ha. Are you going to start competing in festivals and be more competitive in mainstream film and try and transition to theaters? That also is a great question. I am a little bit disenfranchised around festivals. I think festivals can be a great gateway to mainstream film. I think that's true. But that comes with a caveat that I feel like some film festivals can be a great gateway to mainstream film. I often see people go on these enormous festival runs, and they'll invest hundreds of dollars putting their films into festivals, and then they get all these plaques, and they can put it on their thumbnails, and they can put it on the IMDb, and it's amazing. But do any of these films get made into features? Do any of these films actually get launched into the mainstream? Or are you just in a different echo chamber shouting about your film and having people watch it? I think unless it's a major film festival where there's going to be actual representatives from the industry there, people who are looking to I can only talk about Australia because that's where I am, but there's there's probably about 10 different film festivals in my local area, but there's only really 1 or 2 of them that are going to be giving you the opportunity to transition into the mainstream. But the barrier to entry for those films is so high. So if I tried to submit any of my films that I've made into those festivals, I don't think that I would be very successful in them. With our latest film, Big Smoke, which you can check out, there's a link in the description to Patreon, and there's a preview for Big Smoke that's free, so you can just watch it on Patreon for free. I think Big Smoke has a shot at making a bit of noise in festivals, and I think that the reason for that is that we have it's a very good film to start with. Like, the script is amazing, it looks beautiful, and I'm very, very confident that we can package it together into a film that will connect with people in a mainstream audience. A lot of our films are not going to connect with people in a mainstream audience. Like, if you watch our latest Oscars film, Don't Come, that's not going to engage with people. That's about a man, it's about a man trying not to come. Like, it's not a very good I think it's a good film. I love it, but it's not going to connect with the mainstream audience. It's a guy sitting in a car for half an hour and then chopping off his arm for 20 minutes. It's not going to be it's not going to connect with people like that. But yeah, so and in terms of transitioning to theaters, I do have a plan for that. So when we released our first feature film, Over the Next Horizon, we did a small four-wall release in a theater, and it was a little premiere, but we charged tickets for it. So we made it a bit of an event. We charged tickets and we tried to market it to people. There were a few people that came that I didn't know. There was a lot of friends and family there too, and we ended up making a small profit from the film that we were able to then invest in subsequent films. So I think that releasing in theaters locally is a great way to reach new audiences, and yeah, so with Big Smoke, once it's done its festival run, before we put it on YouTube, I am going to release it in theaters. I think what I'll probably do is connect with a few different theaters across my region, and do a few releases over the course of a month, and sell tickets for them, and do posters and some guerrilla marketing, put stickers up around the place, advertising on Facebook groups and community groups, like newsletters and stuff, reach out to the local news, and try and get people to show up to these theaters, because I'm confident that if we release another film in theaters and do it ourselves in four-wall, it's called four-walling, it's something Kevin Smith does with a lot of his films, we'll be able to recoup a bit of the budget, probably the whole budget, to be honest, and then be able to reinvest it in another film as well. Do you think? What's up? Shot by Shot. Hello, how you going, fella? It's very interesting. What do you think is the sweet spot of YouTube and festivals in the new space of film? What do you think is the best way for filmmakers who are starting out? I think for filmmakers who are starting out, what I would say is the same old advice that you get from everyone who's already making films. Just start. If all you have is your phone, just start filming. Just start making stuff. It doesn't have to be your best stuff, but just make things. Don't worry about planning it out too much. Don't worry about waiting till you have the perfect script or the perfect opportunity, because you know what? Whatever you make is going to suck. It's not going to be your best work. It will never be your best work. You're learning. So for new filmmakers starting out, just start making stuff. Just go and make it. And and this is again contrary to a lot of advice, but don't get lights, don't get audio gear. Just use your parents' old DSLR camera, or I bought a secondhand DSLR camera from an op shop and I still use that camera now. That's the camera that I bought 6 years ago when I started. It's this camera that I'm still using now for all my main projects. Just go and start filming. And what you're going to find is, hey, I can't make a film with all natural lighting. I do kind of need lighting gear. And then you go and invest in lighting gear and you learn how to use that once you've sort of mastered the camera. And then you realize, hey, my films kind of sound terrible. And you go and invest in audio gear. Like when you're starting out, you're not going to be able to go into a Facebook group and go, oh, can anyone come and help with the audio? And then, oh, is there any cinematographers who'll do it for free? No, just learn it. Just go and learn. Just go and start, learn, and then realize what other skills you need to learn by making mistakes. Go and make a lot of mistakes. That's my advice for filmmakers. And I would also say, just put it on YouTube. Just put it out. Connect with other filmmakers. Jump into a community. Connect with other filmmakers. Watch their things. Ask them to watch your film. And then listen to their advice. And then go, oh, okay, and apply it. That's how I started, and that's what I would recommend for anyone else starting as well, would be just to go and make stuff and learn from your mistakes, and then keep making more stuff. And yeah, that's what I would say. Shot by Shot goes, I'm glad you liked my short film. I did like your short film. I have a soft spot for post-apocalyptic films. I think you did a great job. If I'm remembering correctly, because I watch a lot of films on YouTube, if I'm remembering correctly, that was the one where you've come out of like a bunker or something, and you're in the apocalypse now, and you're drunk old milk, and it's sort of like a bit of a hangout film. But because I didn't know what would happen, and the last film of yours that I watched, you fell off a skateboard and got stabbed. I was thinking, oh, anything can happen in this. What's it going to be like? So there was a fair bit of suspense for me watching it. So yeah, go and check out Shot by Shot's film. I think that it's important just to make stuff. That's what I did, and go and find friends as well to make things with. If you've got, like, I was the only person in my friend group who was initially interested in filmmaking when I was your age at school, because you're like in high school, right? So none of my friends were interested in filmmaking. So instead of organizing like play dates with my friends, I would organize for them to come and make a movie with me. And then we'd make a movie, and I have 2 old YouTube channels on YouTube with all my old films, and I might in a later stream go through them. They're pretty terrible, but that's sort of the point, and that's how I learned. And it's a nice record of your history as an artist and as a filmmaker. I think a lot of people only want to release their very best stuff online because I get the feeling for some people there's a bit of anxiety, or there's a bit of worry that people, what I'm putting online is my portfolio. And to a certain extent that's true, but it's a learning journey, and the quickest way to learn is when you have a feedback loop that you can open up. As you connect with people, release films, they'll feedback to you what they thought of those films, and and that's how you're going to learn. Okay, me and my friends are making our first feature. So what are some advice when making your first full feature film? Oh, that's very exciting. My advice would be to just finish it. So similar to what I've been saying before, just keep going, just keep making it and finish it. If you're editing it and you're going, oh, I don't like this, or this isn't turning out the way I wanted to, just keep going and finish the whole thing. And you'll have something fun to look back on. You'll have learned heaps. And I think something that I've applied even to my films that I'm making now that I feel like are much better than the films I was making 3 or 4 years ago. I still I don't want to put pressure on the films that I'm making. And what I mean by that is I feel like when people are making films on YouTube or making films to develop their career, they put this pressure on their films. So an example of this is, oh, this might be my big break. That's an example of putting a lot of pressure on your film. Or I hope this wins a lot of festivals. That's putting a lot of pressure on your film. This one might get 10,000 views on YouTube. This one could go viral. That's another example of putting pressure on your film. I don't think at a no budget level, our films can't handle that sort of my films can't handle that sort of pressure. They can't handle that sort of pressure. And when I put that pressure on those films, it means that I'm making them with an expectation that I'll get something back other than the simple enjoyment and the process of making the film in the first place. So my advice to you would be, take all the pressure off and just have fun, because if you're not making fun when you're making your film, you are not going to keep going. You're going to get defeated. And that's what I'm seeing a lot, is where people will put pressure on themselves to, I need a big break, I need to go viral, I need to XYZ. I've been making films for the better part of the last 10 years, and not a single one has gone viral. I had a Wolverine fan film that I helped make and released on our channel. It got it's nearly at 200,000 views, but that's still not even really viral. And those subscribers and those audience members didn't translate over to my other films. It wasn't a big break. It was exciting, but it wasn't a big break. I've not had a big break. I've not had really a viral feature film or a viral original idea. Of course, the Wolverine fan film went viral. Are you kidding me? It's a Wolverine fan film. Of course, the Scream fan film got 60,000 views. It's a Scream fan film. But what's keeping me going and why I keep making films and I keep talking about films and I'm enjoying what I'm doing, it's not so that I can go viral. It's because I love doing it. So just keep doing stuff if you want to, and you probably won't want to anymore if you stop enjoying it. Yeah, that's exactly the reason that you should be making films. What you just said. It's a lot of fun, and you want to make a feature. Making a feature is different. It's, you're telling a longer story. Longer form films are harder to make than short films. And I think the difference is when you're watching it, there's an expectation that, like as an audience member, there's an investment that you're putting into watching this film, like an hour of your time or however long your film is. So you're watching a film for 45 minutes, and if the last 15 minutes don't have necessarily satisfying ending, there's a different experience that the audience member will have. So, it's different because you can sort of make an open-ended short film, but there's a different experience making a feature film. But just do it. Like if you're having fun as well, and this is the other thing, if you're having fun, anyone watching it will have fun as well, and that can be the simple the simple outcome and the simple experience as well. Is if you're having fun making it, people will have fun watching it. Our Star Wars film, that one is going into, there's a few festivals, like sci-fi related festivals, fan film festivals. So we're going to be putting that into some festivals. It'll probably come out next year or maybe the year after. But we are still going to have films. We have films coming out every single month on YouTube. But that's our sort of commitment to the Late Night 99 at the moment, and our YouTube channel is we're going to be releasing a film every single month, and we're going to try and have an upload we've had an upload every single week for the last couple of months. So there's going to be plenty to watch in the meantime. But Star Wars was a huge project that actually cost a fair bit of money. We flew a guy in from another state who was a droid maker. So he made a droid for the 2 droids for the film. We hired out locations. We had a full crew, and a really big set for those projects. We made them with some industry filmmakers from Australia, which was awesome. And then Big Smoke was another one. That was a big project. So for the ones that we've put a financial investment into, we might take a little bit longer to release them, because one, we want to make sure that when we edit them together, they're as good as they can be. But then also we want to make sure that we are giving these films the best opportunity to shine, which is why we're sort of exploring a bit of a festival run. But like I said, I'm a bit disenfranchised about festivals, so we're not going to be we're not going to be relying on these festivals for again, like what I was talking about, expectations. I'm not expecting any of these films to do well. I just had fun making them, and that's sort of the point. G'day from Australia. G'day from Australia. I'm also from Australia. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'll jump into the topic of the video. Thank you to everyone who's been here and engaged and yarned with me. The topic of the video is filmmaking is taking off on YouTube. What can we do, and how can we contribute to the furthering of YouTube filmmaking as an art form, YouTube as a platform, and what can we do as audience members or filmmakers to contribute to this growing niche, I suppose. So I think so I want to talk about the hype feature that's coming out on YouTube soon. So I think it's testing in South America and maybe a few other places, I don't know. But the hype feature is going to be, I think, really game-changing for us. I'll explain my understanding of the hype feature. So when you like a video on YouTube, when this is rolled out globally, when you like a video on YouTube, you'll have the opportunity to also hype the video. Each person will have 3 hype points per week, and they will refresh every week. I don't think they're cumulative. I think they refresh every week, and you're going to be able to hype videos. Now, videos with lower amounts of subscribers, when you hype it, that hype will carry more weight than if you were hyping a video of someone with 400,000 subscribers, right? So hyping these videos will, relative to the popularity of the YouTube channel, push it up into a separate leaderboard. And as there's the trending page, there'll be the hype page. And the hype page will feature the most hyped videos. And again, the weighting will be different when hyping a video. So if you have 30 subscribers and 10 people hype your video, you will be pushed up more in the rankings than somebody with 450,000 subscribers who's hyped 10 times, right? It'll be weighted differently. So I think that this is a great opportunity where we have a filmmaking community. We have filmmakers who are supporting each other and are working together. We have a good opportunity to utilize this feature to promote each other's films when they're released. I reckon, well, you can go on the Don't Tell show, which is a great channel. They do like a fortnightly video on what films were released each week, and or for that period, for that fortnight. There's easily 1 to 3 films that are released every single week on YouTube in our small community. And if we're consistently coordinating together and hyping and supporting these videos as they're released, we are creating lots and lots of opportunities for these videos to be pushed up the algorithm or pushed up that trending hype page. We've been told by YouTube that it's separate to the algorithm. So when you hype the video, it doesn't necessarily impact how it is shared in terms of suggested videos and that sort of thing, but it does increase impressions in that hype leaderboard. So I think hype is going to be a great way to do this. I've created a group on Twitter with filmmakers, and I think that for now that could be a good way to coordinate which videos to hype. But I think as a general rule, if you're following filmmaking on YouTube and a new film comes out, go and hype it. Go and push it up the algorithm. Or if you have a film that you want hyped, like message me on some sort of social media and say, "Oh, can you hype my film?" And then I might share it with that filmmaking group on Twitter, and we'll coordinate and push it up that leaderboard, because I think that it only takes one or two people to get more recognition on YouTube for their films to push up everyone else in the platform. You look at Doomed Productions, RC Films, ourselves, Dan Lots, all these people who are making films. Cody, Don't Tell Show. We're all talking about each other's films. We're a part of a community, and we're supporting each other, and it's a fun sort of inclusive community to be a part of as well. So I think that that's pretty important for for the fact that should one of us go off or become successful, that everyone will get sort of dragged with them, which is very fun. I don't have Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook or anything like that. Well, you might be too young to have those things. If that's the case, or you've been told that you're not allowed to have them, just listen to your parents, I suppose. But if there's no reason why you're not allowed those things, I would definitely be developing a bit of a social media presence and an online networking presence for your films, which is actually the next thing that I'm going to talk about. So my when we all work together, we're going to be able to enjoy the filmmaking process a lot more, because you are doing it alongside people. Not everyone's going to have a huge friend group that are going to want to make films with them, but online you can connect with like-minded people, and that's how Marana started off for me. Is I realized, hey, I'm not alone in this filmmaking space. I'm not alone in my insane desire to be creating films and this almost addictive way. There's other people who are also really passionate about filmmaking that are out there, and I think that was a great sort of learning opportunity for me, and a great motivator as well. It sort of pushed me to keep making things and to keep pushing my films out there. I think community is going to be the key to all of this, and I suppose a part of that is if you're wanting to help, or if you're wanting to further, even in a self-benefiting way, if you're wanting to further your own films, 100% the best way to do that is to promote other people's films, because of a few reasons. One, self-promotion is not consistently, when I've made a video about my own films on YouTube, whether it's commentary or a behind-the-scenes video, and then I've made a video about other people's films, the difference is so obvious that when I make it about other people's films, some people are so much more inclined to watch it than if it's about my own films. So I think that not only is it a great way to build community, to promote other people's things and to talk about other people's things, but it's also a fantastic way to promote yourself as a person with ideas in the filmmaking space, as a voice, as also just if you want to feel good about yourself, if you made a video about someone else's film and you promoted it, that might be the highlight of that person's day. this is a great opportunity to support art, to support other filmmakers. And I think by sharing films that come across your page or your social media, or that you get sent, by reviewing those films and increasing the conversation, and the more people that are talking about these films, the more it adds to their legitimacy as well. And it's going to help YouTube filmmaking take off even more than it has before. And so I think that's really important. There's also already people doing this. So if you don't feel confident, or you don't want to go and review other people's films, go and support people who are, and watch them and enjoy those people. The first one I'm thinking of is Nicholas Adamson from the Don't Tell Show. Go and find, like, I'll put it in the description as well. Go and find the Don't Tell Show and go and watch their films. Watch every single one of their films that they release. They put out basically a film a week, a video a week, I should say. Sorry. And well, one of the most recent reviews that the Don't Tell Show did was a film. They reviewed a film with a film, which is so interesting and cool. But that's a great way to support independent film on YouTube, is to go and support people already supporting it. So the Don't Tell Show does some great spotlights on independent films, some have some great insights into some very radical insights into independent filmmaking. It's a lot of fun to watch, and Nicholas is so damn funny and so damn engaging. I would highly, highly, highly recommend that you check him out and check out what he's doing for the YouTube community, because he is spending, this man, Nicholas, how much time do you spend each week promoting folk films and independent films on YouTube? It would have to be probably at least a full-time job's worth of time. Every couple of hours, he shares another film that has been made, or that is getting made, on his Folkflix account as well. Just, this man is insane. So supporters, I feel like this man is screaming into a void and just needs his voice to be like captured and amplified just a little bit more, and then everyone will know about independent film on YouTube and folk filmmaking on YouTube. So thank you, Nicholas, for everything that you do. Everyone, go and support this man. Another good opportunity is what Cody Clarke is doing. Cody Clarke is a filmmaker on YouTube who is okay. And this is the good thing about, and the fun thing about art, is it can be used to spread a message or share opinions. And Cody talks a lot about, or recently anyway, has talked a lot about conservative artists and that sort of thing. I think that's how, correct me if I'm wrong if you're watching this, Cody, but I think that's how Cody would identify. And at the moment, in this very alienating and divisive cultural landscape, the fact that Cody is a conservative man with conservative opinions may put a lot of people off supporting him. But I would say, to hell with that. Go and support this man and what he's doing. He has a forum or a blog called on Substack. I think that's a blog platform. You can go and subscribe to that with your email. And you go and submit films that you've made in the month for the next month for him to spotlight. And I think that is a great opportunity that people would be amiss to let go by. I think it would be a great loss for people to not take advantage of this opportunity to get your film in an article, to get your film in a blog. It's a great way to promote films, and again, it adds to their legitimacy if you're able to do that. So I would be going and supporting Cody Clarke with what he's doing, and I am telling you that you don't need to like someone, or you don't need to agree with their opinions to work with them in an artistic way, to support what they're doing for an art form. So so that's another great way to promote or to support independent film on YouTube, among many others. So in summary, watch Joel Haver's films and support what he's doing on YouTube. He's doing a great job. And I think Joel has single-handedly done more for independent filmmaking than almost any other person on planet Earth at the moment. He, with the Oscars challenge, has managed to get hundreds of filmmakers together to all release something at the same time. What an amazing achievement. And you look at what he's doing for small creators as well. He's making films with people who aren't in the same weight class as him in terms of popularity and in terms of reach, but his artistic collaborations are just so awesome and pure. What a cool dude. Go and check out his stuff. Go and check out the Don't Tell show and what they're doing for independent film too. Cody Clarke, subscribe to his newsletter, share stuff on there. When the hype feature comes, please go and support independent films by hyping them. It's going to be a great way for us to get more reach. And then additionally, if you would like, you can go and support us as well. We're doing, we're trying to do a lot for the independent filmmaking movement as well. And we're reviewing films over here. We're making films over here. We're talking about films. We're going live. We're creating a space for independent film to flourish and do well. So if you'd like, you can subscribe to us if you're not already. But I'm assuming all of you are. So welcome. Thank you. So amazing stuff. I'm going to wrap it up now and get out of here because I've got to head off to work. Shot by Shot goes, I've been looking for film contests to enter. Are there any film contests you know of that I could join? Yeah, so they're called film festivals, and there would be heaps. So if you go on Film Freeway, that's where you're going to be able to find a lot of them, and filter by student films, and then or children. There's often categories for like under 18. And just play with the filters on Film Freeway, make an account, it's free, and then try and find festivals to submit to. Good luck, and thank you everyone for watching. If you're watching this on replay, thank you for checking this out. You guys are the best. Keep supporting independent film in these ways and subscribe to the people I talked about down below. Thanks, y'all. Bye.